Hi, I'm Bill Bishop, CEO of the Big Idea Company. And look, after 40 years of working with thousands of entrepreneurs, I've seen this hidden conflict. It just derails even the smartest people out there. And the framework I want to share with you, it all started with a very personal and honestly a very uncomfortable realization I had myself.
Yeah, that's me. I'm talking about a time in my own career when, from the outside, everything looked great, the numbers were solid, my boss was happy, but inside, something just felt deeply wrong. And it's a feeling I bet a lot of you can relate to. That weird gap between being successful and actually feeling successful. And this isn't just my story. This whole way of thinking, I developed it because I kept seeing the same pattern over and over again in more than 5,000 entrepreneurs. I mean, smart, capable people, probably a lot like you, just running smack into the same invisible wall. So all of this led me to a really fundamental question, and it's one I want you to ask yourself as we go through this. What are you actually optimizing for, day in and day out? I'm not talking about what you tell yourself you're doing. What is the system around you, your job, your company? What is it truly rewarding?
And this brings us right to the heart of the problem. There's this hidden war happening inside almost every business, and maybe, just maybe, inside your own career too. It's the battle between your incentives and your intentions.
Okay, so what do I mean by an incentive? Think of it as the how. It's the system that pays you, that promotes you, the one that pats you on the back. It's that sales quota you have to hit, right? Or the KPI on your dashboard. It's the external push.
An intention, though, that's totally different. That's the why. It's your internal compass. It's that genuine, deep-down desire to help someone, to create real value, to solve a problem in a way that just feels right. It's what you truly want to do. And here's the problem. These two things, they're rarely aligned.
Now, to make this a little more concrete, I've got a metaphor that I think is really going to stick with you. It's this idea that your career, it's like you're on a train.
See, most of us, we're on the incentive train. We hopped on board because, hey, looked good, the ride is pretty comfortable, and we seem to be moving fast. But here's the crucial part. We never actually checked where the train is going. The system is driving. Now, when you lead with intention, you do the exact opposite. You pick your destination first, the value you want to create, and only then do you find or even build the right train to get you there. See the difference? You're in the driver's seat.
Okay, so this isn't just some philosophical exercise, right? Misaligned incentives have real-world consequences, and sometimes they're disastrous. Let's look at a couple of pretty famous examples.
So, we'll start with a classic story from British colonial India. The government had a very clear and honestly a noble intention. There were way too many dangerous cobras in Delhi, and they needed to reduce the population to keep people safe. Seems simple enough, right?
So to achieve this goal, they created what seemed like a totally logical incentive. They offered a cash bounty for every dead cobra someone brought to them. Get rid of a cobra, get paid. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Well, what went wrong was human ingenuity. People quickly realized it was a whole lot easier and way more profitable to farm cobras than to actually hunt them. So they started breeding them just to kill them and collect the bounty. Of course, when the government figured this out and canceled the program, the farmers just released their now worthless snakes, and the cobra problem in Delhi, it became far, far worse than when they started.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the core danger, doesn't it? The incentive, getting paid per cobra, it became the goal itself. It completely overwhelmed and destroyed the original intention of making the cities safer. People weren't focused on the mission anymore, they were just focused on the metric.
Now, that's a historical example, but trust me, this kind of misalignment happens constantly in the modern business world. Let's look at a company we all remember, Blockbuster Video.
Blockbuster's stated intention was great, right? Provide entertainment and convenience. But what was their real hidden incentive? Late fees. That's where they made a huge chunk of their money. So think about it. Their actual business model was designed to punish their best customers, the people who loved movies so much they wanted to keep them a little longer. So when Netflix showed up with a model that was totally aligned with what customers actually wanted, watch as much as you want with zero penalties, it wasn't even a contest. Blockbuster was absolutely doomed.
And here's a really key insight I've learned over the years, and I want you to hear this. You might think your internal quotas and pressures are a secret, but they're not. Your customers can feel them in every single interaction. They can sense when you're genuinely trying to help them versus when you're just trying to hit your number.
Okay, so we've laid out this pervasive and, frankly, dangerous problem. But the good news is, there's a way out.
I've developed a really practical 6-step framework to help you get your work back into alignment.
All right, let's walk through this together. Step 1. Identify your current incentives. And I mean, be brutally honest with yourself. What are you actually being rewarded for? Step 2. Clarify your true intentions. What value do you really want to create for other people? Step 3 is where you spot the misalignment. You find that conflict between the two. Step 4. Envision the ideal. What would your work look like if it was built from the ground up around those good intentions? Now, step 5 is about creating a transition plan. Come on, you can't just flip a switch overnight. So you build a bridge to get from where you are to where you want to be. And finally, and this is the most important part, take one small, concrete action today. Make one decision, no matter how small, that is aligned with your intentions. That's it. That's how real change actually begins.
Now, a common thing I hear is, Bill, I don't have time for this. I've got to hit my quota now. But what I've found over 40 years is that pushing for that misaligned sale, that's actually the slow path. It just leads to burnout, churn, and a damaged reputation. The truly fast path to sustainable success is the aligned path. It's when what you do perfectly matches what your customers genuinely need.
So really, what this all comes down to is a choice. We're all standing at a fork in the road, both as individuals and, frankly, as a business community.
The dark path, well, that's where we continue to chase metrics that just don't matter. We celebrate the final score without ever asking how the game was played. But the bright future, the one I'm fighting for, is one where we build businesses where profit is just a natural byproduct of genuinely helping people. Where doing well and doing good are the exact same thing.
And let's bring this right back to where we started. Remember me feeling terrible at my old job? Well, I didn't just diagnose the problem, I lived the solution. I actually quit that job and started my own company, the Big Idea Company, dedicated to actually helping clients get real results.
So yeah, I got on a new train. A train where I chose the destination first and I was the one driving. The quote on your screen says it all, and believe me, the view from this train is a hell of a lot better. The point is this: alignment isn't just some moral victory, it's a strategic one. It's just better business.
So I'll end with the simple practice that I use to start my own day. It's a question I want to leave you with. Tomorrow morning, don't ask what you need to get done. Instead, ask yourself this: what are my true intentions for other people today? How do I genuinely want to help? Just start there and see what changes.